YouTube channel. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, please do share it and like the videos. We don't want you to miss any of the information that we want to share with you. A lot of times when talking with people, I'm often surprised with those believing that decaf means there's no caffeine in that cup of joe you're drinking. Decaffeinated coffee does contain caffeine. Decaffeinated coffee cherries aren't found out in nature. Decaffeinated coffee cherries don't grow on trees. They are man-made. Now with that in mind, stay through the whole video because later I'm going to give you a site to go to where you can check and see if a company uses chemicals to remove the caffeine for their decaf blend. There are a few factors that determine the quantity of caffeine in a cup. First of all, coffee beans. Depending on specific species of coffee tree, a bean's natural caffeine content can vary. The style of coffee is a second factor, whether you like brewed, cold brew, espresso, or even decaf as we're talking today, to name a few. Serving size, the more coffee in that cup, you might have a 6 ounce, 12 ounce, 16 ounce or bigger. But that cup that you're drinking have higher total caffeine intake, the bigger that it is. Let's talk about the roast of the coffee. During roasting, a bean loses mass. In fact, a roasted coffee bean can shed up to 70% of its water weight during the first 6 minutes of roasting. A cup of light roast coffee will have slightly different caffeine levels than its dark roast coffee peers. First of all, a quick refresher on roasting. This technique involves heating green coffee seeds that are tender until they've reached their signature brown, aromatic, and brew-ready bean status. So you can see, I think, that roasting strategies do vary. The flavors and aromas tend to concentrate during roasting, so you might imagine that dark roast coffee also packs a stronger caffeine punch. But actually, the reverse is true. If you're comparing the exact same weight of light roast to dark roast coffee, each will have very similar levels of caffeine. As you scale each batch, notice that you'll need more dark roast beans to match the weight of the light roast beans. Since the beans lose moisture the more that they roast, the darker roasted beans shed more mass and density. That said, if you compare light and dark roast beans by how much space they take up, as they would hold their own in a cup, light roast will have a bit more caffeine. Beans expand during the roasting process, so dark roast coffee beans take up more space. The caffeine content doesn't concentrate as the beans roast, but due to the shift in density, you may experience a small difference in total caffeine content in your cup if you make it without a scale. In the beginning of this video, I mentioned I would give you a site to go to where you can check your caffeine levels in your favorite coffees. You may be asking, why do I need to check that? Number one reason, many coffee companies use chemicals to remove that caffeine from normal coffee beans. If you go to check your caffeine, check your decaf, not just caffeine, but check your decaf. There you can find out if your decaffeinated coffee company is using some kind of chemical to remove that caffeine. Again, I say, not all of it, but the majority of the caffeine is removed. Remember, there is caffeine in decaffeinated coffee. But you'll find with The Basket is Full and Pure Java, we have a reduced caffeine product. It's a liquid concentrate. We use no chemicals. Because at The Basket is Full Inc., we are a natural food manufacturer. We use God-created products. So for our concentrates, we pick our coffee cherries early in their growth before the caffeine fully develops. And those are the beans that we will use for our liquid coffee concentrates. Extremely reduced, but as I say, coffee does have caffeine, but we use no chemicals. Again, the basket is full ink. We're out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Our beverage brand is Pure Java. You'll find it in many different vendors. You can order it online, and you can even stop by our store in Lincoln and pick up your own coffee. You'll also find that we have other products in teas, walnuts, apricot kernels. So again, please subscribe to our channel. Don't miss any of the information, and may God bless. Thank you.